You're standing at a crossroads. Something's broken in your life. Maybe it's your heart. Maybe it's your bank account. Maybe it's your confidence. And the first thing you do is pull out your phone. You scroll through your contacts. You call your best friend. You text your mom. You vent to a coworker. You post it on social media, hoping someone will tell you what to do. And here's the brutal truth. By the time you've talked to 5 different people, you've collected 5 different opinions, 3 contradictions, 2 bad ideas, and 0 peace. You're more confused than when you started. And that's because you went to people before you went to God. Let me ask you something. When your car breaks down, do you ask your neighbor who's never changed a tire in his life to fix your engine? No, you take it to the mechanic. So why, when your life breaks down, when your soul is aching, when you need real answers, do you take your problems to people who are just as lost as you are? Today, we're going to talk about why you keep making this mistake, why you keep seeking validation, direction, and comfort from the wrong sources. And more importantly, what happens when you flip the order, when you stop running to people first and start running to God first. This isn't a religious lecture. This is a wake-up call. Because whether you believe in God or not, there's a principle here that will change your life. It's the principle of source. Where you go first determines what you get. If you go to confusion first, you get more confusion. If you go to gossip first, you get drama. If you go to fear first, you get anxiety. But if you go to clarity, to truth, to the highest source of wisdom first, everything else falls into place. The problem is we've been conditioned to seek approval from people. We've been taught to crowdsource our decisions. We've been trained to fear silence, to fear being alone with our thoughts, to fear what it means to sit still and actually listen. And so we fill the void with voices, human voices, loud, opinionated, well-meaning but limited voices. By the end of this video, you're going to understand why going to God first isn't just spiritual advice. It's strategic, it's psychological. It's the difference between living reactive and living intentional. It's the difference between being tossed around by everyone's opinion and standing firm in your purpose. Let me tell you about a woman named Sarah. Sarah was in her late 20s, stuck in a job she hated, in a relationship that drained her, and in a constant state of overthinking. Every time she had a problem, she'd call her sister, then her best friend, then her therapist, then her coworker, and every single person had a different take. Her sister said, "Leave him." Her best friend said, "Give him another chance." Her therapist said, "Set boundaries." Her coworker said, "You're overthinking it." And Sarah, she did nothing. She stayed paralyzed because she had too many voices in her head and not enough conviction in her heart. One day she broke down, not in front of people, alone in her car, in the parking lot of a grocery store. And for the first time in years, she didn't reach for her phone. She didn't text anyone. She just sat there and she prayed. Not a rehearsed prayer, not a religious script, just honesty. Raw, ugly, desperate honesty. She said, "God, I don't know what to do. I'm tired of asking people. I'm asking you. Show me." And here's what happened. Nothing. At first, no lightning bolt, no audible voice, but something shifted. A calm settled over her. And over the next few days, the answer became clear. Not from a person, not from a podcast, from within, a knowing, a certainty. She left the relationship. She quit the job. She stopped asking people what they thought and started asking God what he wanted for her. 2 years later, Sarah built a business she loved, married a man who honored her, and found peace she hadn't felt since childhood. And it all started the moment she stopped going to people before she went to God. Here's the hard truth. When you go to people for answers, they can only give you what's inside them. If they're broken, they'll give you broken advice. If they're bitter, they'll give you bitterness. If they're scared, they'll project their fear onto you. It's not that they don't love you. It's that they're limited, they're human, they're operating from their own wounds, their own biases, their own unhealed places. God, on the other hand, has no wounds, no agenda, no ego. When you go to God, you're going to the source of all wisdom, all love, all truth. You're not getting recycled advice from someone who read a self-help book last week. You're getting divine clarity. We're terrified of silence. We fill every moment with noise, music, podcasts, scrolling, talking. We do anything to avoid being alone with ourselves because silence forces us to face what we've been avoiding. But here's what most people don't understand. Silence isn't empty. It's where God speaks. It's where intuition lives. It's where your soul whispers the truth you've been ignoring. When you go to people first, you never get to hear that whisper. You drown it out with their opinions. But when you go to God first, when you sit in the quiet and ask, what do I need to know? The answer comes. Not always immediately, but it comes. This is how you know the difference. When God speaks, there's peace. Even if the answer is hard, even if it requires sacrifice, there's a calm that settles in your spirit, a knowing, a certainty. But when you're collecting opinions from 5 different people, there's chaos, there's doubt, there's second guessing. You feel more lost than before. Pay attention to what brings peace and what brings confusion. That's your compass. Let's be clear. This isn't about isolating yourself. This isn't about rejecting mentorship or wisdom from others. The Bible itself says, in the multitude of counselors, there is safety. But notice the order. You go to God first. You get clarity. You get direction. And then you seek wise counsel from people who are aligned with that direction, people who can help you execute, not people who will confuse you about the mission. Going to God first filters out the noise. It helps you discern whose voice actually matters. The reason we run to people is because we're desperate to be seen, to be heard, to be understood, and that's human. But here's the paradox. When you go to God first, you're not alone. You're seen, you're heard, you're understood. And when you truly believe that, the desperate need for human validation fades. You stop performing. You stop people pleasing. You stop seeking approval because you already have it from the only source that matters. The breakthrough happens when you realize this. People will fail you, not because they're evil, but because they're human. They'll give bad advice. They'll project their fears. They'll let you down. And if you build your life on their opinions, you'll collapse when they do. But God never fails. His wisdom doesn't shift with trends. His love doesn't run out. His guidance doesn't change based on his mood. When you anchor yourself there first, you become unshakable. So what does this look like practically? How do you go to God before you go to people? Start your morning in prayer or meditation before you check your phone, before you scroll, before you talk to anyone. Sit in silence. Ask God to guide your day. Ask him to give you wisdom. Ask him to show you what you need to see. When a problem arises, pause. Don't immediately call someone. Don't immediately vent. Sit with it. Pray about it. Journal about it. Ask God for clarity. Give him space to speak. Filter advice through what God has already shown you. When someone gives you counsel, ask yourself, does this align with what I believe God is calling me to do? If it does, receive it. If it doesn't, let it go. Build a relationship with God that's personal, not religious, not ritualistic, personal. Talk to him like he's your closest friend, because he is. Here's the truth. You've been carrying weight you were never meant to carry. You've been asking questions to people who don't have the answers. You've been seeking peace in places that only offer noise, and it's exhausting. But there's another way. Stop going to people before you go to God. Stop crowdsourcing your destiny. Stop letting the loudest voice win when the still, small voice is trying to save you. Go to the source. Go to the one who designed you. Go to the one who knows the end from the beginning. Go to the one who loves you without condition and speaks truth without agenda. And watch what happens when you do. Watch how the fog clears. Watch how the confusion fades. Watch how peace becomes your default. Watch how you start walking in a confidence that doesn't need validation, because you're not building your life on the opinions of people anymore. You're building it on the unchanging truth of God. If this message hit you, do me a favor. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment and tell me what you're taking to God first today. Let's build a community of people who refuse to settle for noise when they can have clarity. Now go, stop scrolling, get quiet, and talk to God. Your breakthrough is waiting.